Hey, you guys, thank y'all so much for hopping on tonight. I'm really excited to share a little bit about the business opportunity and what Plexus has to offer. I'm in my kids' playroom, so I'm gonna make this work here. My name is Rachel Gallagher. If you don't know me, I have been doing Plexus since 2015, so it's been a little bit. And I'm just excited to share really about what this opportunity has brought me. Some things I'm going to bring up some things about why some people choose not to do networking or hold on, let me mute. Okay, someone muted themselves. I'm going to try and catch people as they come in. So if I hear some noise, it's fine. I'll just get distracted for a second. I'll be scrolling over here and try and mute it. But why some people wait to do network marketing, or why some people are, they want to do it and maybe they are hesitant, or they've thought about it, but they aren't sure, or things like that. So I really just want to be real with y'all. That's one thing I definitely am, is real. I am not someone that is like unicorns and rainbows and fluff. I'm like a very black and white person. When it comes to stuff like this, because I am not someone that feels like you should fluff stuff up and make it something that it's not, because then people are just disappointed. So I would rather just be real with people, let them know what to expect so that they aren't disappointed, but also they know like, oh, this is normal. This happens in network marketing and this is what to expect. You're not going to make $5,000 a month if you don't put work in. So that's kind of what to expect tonight. It's going to be 30 minutes max. So I'll max it out at 8:45, and I'm not going to ask y'all to unmute and share or anything like that. So don't get nervous. Like, oh, is she going to call on me? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to share from my heart and a little bit about my journey and then go from there. So I'm going to slide over to my slideshow real quick. Just 1 minute. And then I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Give me 1 second. If you could mute yourself when you pop on, that would be awesome. Because once I share my slideshow, it's hard for me to pop over and see who's talking because y'all disappear. Okay, let me go to the first page. Okay, so why Plexus? Why now? Lisa Gallagher, like I said, I am an Emerald brand ambassador, and that means nothing to you who don't know anything about Plexus, but you'll see a little bit on the little pay scale that we have where I fall on that in just a little bit. So this is my family. This is actually a really old picture. I realized I always swore, I was like, man, I'll never be that mom when I have more than one kid that doesn't keep updated pictures. And here we are. This is not updated. So, as a mom, you know everything until you become a mom, and then you realize you do everything you said you wouldn't. So this is a picture of myself, my husband, and our two littles. This was probably I think this was our Christmas picture last year. We did not make the Christmas picture this year. I'm actually pregnant right now. So my daughter is turning 3 at the end of March. My son he'll turn 2 at the end of September, like middle September. And then I have our baby that I'm pregnant with right now is due at the end of April. So we have them stacked back to back. They just bring so much joy to our lives. I just love them to pieces. We just went on a Plexus trip actually, and it's just so fun to come back to little kids because you're like their world and they just light up when they see you. So I'm sure all you moms can relate to that. I was a former 4th grade teacher. So when I was doing Plexus, I was actually a teacher. I had been a teacher for 5 years, and I was good at what I do. Like I feel confident in admitting that, or saying that I am a person who, when I am doing something, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to try my hardest at it. And I really enjoyed it, the teaching part of it. There's actually a lot of teachers that do Plexus.
No, you're not. What the fuck you're not?
Yeah, I can meet someone. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find who this is. Sorry, guys. You have ruined my life. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Okay. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I tried to catch that early. Okay. So when I was a teacher, I really enjoyed it. But it definitely had its challenges. One of them being that my husband was traveling in the oil field and we didn't really get to spend a lot of time together. And when we were together, I felt like, and if you are a teacher or you're someone who is very busy at work and you get no downtime, I felt like I was just so overstimulated and it was starting to cause me to be someone I did not like. I'm a really happy person in general. But I started getting to where I was just really jaded by everything. And my husband would come home and I would just be, he would try and just hang out with me. I'd be like, I just need a minute. Like, I just need to decompress. I need to be by myself. And that's when I kind of started thinking like something's got to change. The person in my life who I'm supposed to want to hang out with and spend my time with and who I do enjoy being around is getting the worst of me. Some of you can probably relate to that if you're really busy at work and you really are just go, 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 go. Maybe you only get to see your kids for an hour at night when you pick them up from daycare and then, get them ready. By the time you do dinner, bath, and bed, you really only get to hang out with them an hour or maybe 30 minutes. And then maybe your only time together as a family is Saturdays and Sundays. And that's it. And maybe that's something that you want to change. At the time I started Plexus, I didn't have kids. So it was just me and my husband. But I knew I wanted more. I was tired of living for the weekends. I was tired of always saying, I just can't wait till Friday. I just can't wait till the weekend. And I literally was living for Saturdays and then Sundays. Do this. Sorry, y'all. Okay. And my, work anxiety would start back up on Sunday nights. So really it's like I only got one day free. And if I didn't do everything I wanted to in that day, then, I was done. So when Plexus came into my life in 2015, it was one of my co-teachers. Well, she taught third, I taught fourth. She was across the hall from me and I watched her, y'all, for almost a year. I watched her take the product. So don't think that if you're skeptical about Plexus, you can never do this because you can. I watched her for about 9 months. I watched her lose weight. I watched her just be honestly, the thing that got me though wasn't the weight loss. Like, yes, that is nice, but it was the fact that when I looked at her, she went from someone who was like me. Her husband was also in the field, but she was kind of like jaded. We were just looking forward to happy hour. We were like, screw this, at work. I'm over it. It was kind of a really toxic environment. And she had started becoming really positive and seeing the positive and stuff. And I could just tell she had like a different light in her eyes. And honestly, that's what I was attracted to most. So about 9 months in, I tried the products out and I really, really loved them. So this is a funny story, and she didn't know this until she like reached the top of the company. They do what's called a diamond documentary, and they do like a kind of a story of your journey. Plexus does, and on it, I was like, "Yeah, I actually bought Plexus for the first time from a random person because I didn't want her to know that I was interested." And she was like, "What the heck?" But seriously, so if you're stubborn like me, you can also do this. I literally was that stubborn about the whole situation and didn't want her to know that, or I guess too proud and let her know, I don't know why, that I didn't want to do Plexus. So I got started on the products, felt good, started naturally sharing. And this is when I feel like it was truly a God thing of, giving me these little God winks of, hey, this could be something that you could do. My first paycheck, I had actually at the time I was broke as a teacher, like robbing Peter to pay Paul. I actually came home from work one time and my electricity was turned off because I could not afford the bill. But no one knew it, guys. Looking from the outside in, no one knew that. You would have thought that I had it all together. They didn't know that I had debt. They didn't know that literally my electricity was turned off because I was the person who would buy people lunch. And I was the person who would go out, like I said, to happy hour. And I was the person who would, be shopping at TJ Maxx. I was that person, but I feel like that's a lot of us is we are very good at covering up or, hiding the things that we don't want people to know, but really on the inside, we are struggling. So my first month of Plexus, I had actually just bought a new car. It wasn't new, as used, but I had to buy one because my old car, basically the transmission was like about to fall out. It sounded awful. So I had to, but I couldn't afford it, but it was like a non-negotiable. I had to get a new car to get me to work and stuff. So my first paycheck was almost the exact amount as my new car payment. And then the second month, it actually was almost the exact amount as what our mortgage was at the time. So it was looking back, I'm like, what a cool God thing to be like, look, I'm providing for you in ways that you never even knew. And that's when I decided, man, in 2 months, if I can pay our mortgage, what could I do if I really gave this a go? So I started sharing, and I kind of gave myself an ultimatum. Like I've already said, I'm really stubborn, but I go for stuff and I really go for it. So I gave myself a year and I said, I'm going to give this heck for a year. And if it works out, then I'm going to quit my teaching job. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't, and it's not for me. And I'll just figure out something else to do because I don't know how much longer I can be a teacher. Within a year, I was able to match my teacher's salary. And I did quit that year. It was scary. It was the unknown. Teachers, even though you don't get paid a lot, at least I knew what was coming every 2 weeks into my we got paid once a month. At least I knew what was coming into my my bank account every month. So it did make me nervous because I'd never been commission based, but I just took the leap of faith and trusted God, and it's worked out. So that's kind of my story. Okay. So what does your life look like? So 7 out of 10 Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. I'm a big Dave Ramsey person, and I've actually learned all this in his Financial Peace University, and actually like following him on Instagram if you haven't, but he's a big finance guy. So if you haven't never heard of him, I would definitely follow him, especially if you are trying to further yourself and get yourself out of debt or save more or do whatever, which if you are here tonight, then that probably is your goal. You already have that growth mindset because you're here. So 7 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And that's not just people of certain socioeconomic levels. That's everyone, like people middle class, upper class, everyone, because people, even when you have more money, people still can live above their means. So just because you're driving in a nice neighborhood and drive a nice car doesn't mean that those people just are hunky dory. Those people also have financial issues a lot of the time. So 50% of Americans don't have an emergency fund. This was definitely me when I was teaching. If I had a tire that blew out, or I didn't really ever have a tire blew out, but like a tire that, needed to be replaced, or even I remember when I would need to get an oil change, or even going to the grocery store, guys, or this was a really sad moment. I ordered a burger off of the dollar menu at McDonald's once when I was teaching, and my card got declined. So I literally didn't even have enough money, forget emergency fund. I didn't even have enough money for a dollar menu burger at McDonald's. So I believe it when 50% of Americans don't have emergency funds. And honestly, right now, that's probably the biggest thing to me is when we do have car issues, or when we do have to pay a medical bill or something, it's so nice, and so much pressure has been taken off of us just to be able to pay for that, versus being like, crap, we did not budget for that $800. Where's that money going to come from? And that's where credit card debt comes from, is, well, we have to do this. It's a non-negotiable. My kid has to go in, for the doctor for this, and, we have to pay for it. So what are you going to do? So that's when you start pulling your credit card out. So that's honestly one of the biggest financial reliefs that we have, is being able to afford that stuff now. 42% of Americans aren't saving for retirement. I honestly feel like that number is probably higher, but I'm not a statistics person. And credit cards have an average balance of 15,000. Of course, we all know how credit cards work. It's like a revolving door of like, you charge and then you can't pay it off, so then you get more interest. It's like the biggest scheme of all time. So just some facts for you to let you know too, if you are in this place, you're not alone. There's so many people. If you look left, look right, someone is in the same financial or worse situation as you. We all, like I said, are just very good at covering up or hiding it, or, playing the credit card game where, okay, let's clear off this credit card a little bit so we can put a little bit more on there. There's other people there, so don't feel ashamed of that. Next one. Okay. Anything but an MLM. So like I said, I'm a big Dave Ramsey person, and I'm actually in a Facebook group. My husband and I did their Financial Peace University, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. So I got in a Facebook group, and it's always so funny to me because people in the group, or even people, if you go on social media, there's so many times I've been on Facebook, and there's friends of mine from school or just my life or whatever, that are on Facebook, and they'll post and say, does anyone know of a job? Or maybe you've been someone that's posted this too. Anyone know of a job you can do from home, ... no MLMs. And it's such a negative stigma towards MLMs because of what they used to be, not what they are now. So to me, I always honestly feel sad when people post that, because people just don't know what they don't know. There's no other opportunity where you can work from home and literally make as much or as little as you want to, and you be in total control of your time. A lot of people, especially since the pandemic, I will say, working from home has been a lot more normal. I feel, if anything, and people that have been with network marketing for a long time will probably agree, it's so much easier to do network marketing now and get people to work the business with you than ever before, because people do have the mindset now of, oh, I can work from home. It is normal. When I first started Plexus in 2015, so what was that now? Like, oh my gosh, it's like 8 years now, which is crazy. Um, 8 years ago now, no one was working from home. Like, you went to work all day long and then you came home and that's how you earned a paycheck. But now, I mean, there's influencers on Instagram. Those people are making like a bajillion dollars. They make so much money. There's everything is from, I mean, there's so much that is online now, and everything is getting geared more and more towards that. If you look, I mean, our mall where we live is like a ghost town. It sucks. There's nothing there. There's no stores. Everything has been moved online. Even like, big stores, are a lot of them are closing down, a lot of the brick and mortar companies, because there's no reason for them. People shop online. What do you do? Like this weekend, I was out of town. I got on my phone, and I ordered some stuff. I never even looked in the store for it. Even sometimes I see it a lot where people will be like at Target or whatever, and they'll look at an item and then they'll go on Amazon and they'll find it cheaper and they'll buy it online. So it's like they went to the store to find something, but they're still going online to purchase it. It's such a normal marketplace now, is social selling. So I feel like, if anything, people are the most open to opportunities like Plexus than they have ever been before, especially younger people, that, what are they called, like Gen Z, the younger generation, because all they know is social selling and online. That's how they do it. Like, they don't go to stores. They're like allergic to people. They don't even like talking to people. So if they can do stuff online, they're going to. So even more so than now, the generations coming up, that's all they know is online. So there's a huge opportunity in that. It's a really low risk and really low financial commitment. Y'all, right now, first of all, you can get signed up with Plexus to be a brand ambassador for there. A lot of people have free codes right now. So for $0, it's normally $10. So $10, literally less than what it cost me to get Chick-fil-A for lunch. You can start a business, and there's no, like, you have very, very little skin in the game. You don't have to have any product. You don't have to carry any product on you. When people ask me like, hey, do you have any pink drink, or do you have any active on you? Or, do you have any probiotic? My answer is always no, but you can order and get it shipped to you, because I don't carry extra product. All I carry is what I take, what my husband takes, and what my kids take. So I love that we don't have to have, I remember growing up, like Mary Kay people had their whole garage full of Mary Kay stuff. They have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. We just don't have to do that, which I love, because let's say you decide I'm out, you don't lose anything. You don't have a bunch of stuff to sell. You just are done, which of course we hope you don't do that. But if that's the case, you have such a low commitment. My husband and I have been looking at, just one of our dreams is to have a bunch of property and do real estate. And I mean, we aren't quite there yet, but we are at the place where we just like look for fun on our phone. But I mean, even to buy a house, y'all, you got to put 20% down. You got to put like 40,000 down, 40,000 for not a very big return on your income at first, and return on your investment until you pay your properties off. If you're doing rentals, this is literally $10, and you can start your company and make unlimited income. So I'll share with you what you can actually make. And then down here, it also says multiple streams of income is no longer needed, but necessary. I don't know if y'all seen, like, I know y'all seen the egg memes going around, but it's true. I went the other day and I'm like, I'm sorry, $9.99 for these organic eggs for a dozen. Like, eggs used to be poor people food. I ate them in college because they were cheap. Like, you could get 12 for 99 cents, roll it up on a tortilla with cheese and call it a day. Now it's like everything is so dang expensive. And if you don't have the extra stream of income, I saw something the other day that was like, people are having to choose between gas, groceries, and prescriptions. Like, that's where a lot of people are at. It's like, what do we need the most? Because you don't have money for all three anymore unless you do have extra streams of income. I even saw, I know I told y'all our dream is to have a bunch of real estate. So we just look for stuff. And my father-in-law saw these, they basically are like houses in a box. They come shipped in little shipping containers, and they turn into houses. It's really cool, but it's this thing that Elon Musk is doing. But what was interesting to me is they said so many people can't afford their house that they're getting these secondary houses and putting them in their backyards, and people are renting these secondary houses from them because they need help paying for their mortgage and other people can't afford housing. So they're living in these tiny, like 800 square foot houses with their family because it's all they can afford. And it's like a huge thing in big cities. So to me, it was a really a moment of like life is expensive. Life is so expensive right now. So believe. So just a few things that honestly you need to get started in the company. I really didn't know anything. Like I said, I was really skeptical about the products. It took me about 9 months of watching my friend to take them. But now that I've taken the products, I kind of lucked into taking products that were really great for your gut health and really did a lot for me. They helped me with so much. They've helped me with sleep. I had cystic acne and was on all sorts of medications for it and topical creams, and nothing helped. And it was the only thing that helped me. It helped me with my insomnia. It helped me with my stomach issues. It helped me with bloating. It helped me with, I mean, I could list a million things, but the truth is, once you try the products, you're going to fall in love with them if you're consistent. And when your customers, meaning like your friends and your family, try the products, they're going to fall in love with them. And what's great about them is they're consumable, meaning people are going to order them every single month. So it's not like I love Younique makeup. I buy it from one of my friends, but when I buy it from her, I'm good for a while. I buy my eyeshadow and like, I don't wear makeup a whole time because I work from home. So a year later, like I maybe buy once or twice a year an eyeshadow palette from her because I'm boring. I don't do fun makeup. I use the same thing. I'm a creature of habit, but so she only gets a sale from me maybe once or twice a year for that. And then, you know, some foundation here and there. But really what's great about Plexus products is as long as people are taking them consistently, they're ordering from you monthly and you get paid monthly on their products. So you're not having to constantly chase down people to sell. It's people fall in love with the products and they sell themselves because guess what? I don't want my stomach issues to come back. So I'm going to continue taking the probiotics. I don't want my kids' stomach issues to come back. So I'm going to continue to give it to them. You know, you become dependent on them. So you're going to continue to get easy sales that way, more or less. And this is just coming from like a sales perspective. I told you I was going to be real. So it's not, you're not constantly having to chase a sale. I know that's what a lot of people are worried about with network marketing is where am I going to find all the people where you're going to have returning customers every month, which is great. And I already talked about this isn't your mama's makeup company. You're not having to stock everything. You're not having to have a garage full of stuff. You're not having to have parties. If you choose to, awesome. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Most of my sales and my customers come from social media, either Facebook or Instagram. And a lot of people are people I don't even know. So don't let the fear of I don't know anyone stop you from getting started. And then a lot of times people honestly just don't have belief in themselves. A lot of things that I hear is I've never done this. I'm not a salesperson. What if I'm not good? I'm nervous. All those things was me. Y'all, I went to school to be a teacher. Let me tell you what teachers aren't, salespeople. Okay. You figure it out. It's just 20% skill set. And honestly, that's all learned. There's stuff, even like tonight, y'all, I was Googling how to share this because I made this PowerPoint. I edited it on Canva and I couldn't figure out how to share it like a slideshow. So I just Googled it. Google has so many resources. One of my friends told me one time, I'm not gonna, so sorry if I offend you, but one of my friends told me GTS one time, Google that shit. And literally I do that for everything. That was not professional, but that's what I do for everything and how I run my business. I GTS all day long and you figure it out. 80% though is mindset of once you get into this too, you'll see one of the things I didn't expect from Plexus was personal growth that it gave me. And a lot of it is my positive mindset. I told y'all I was got into kind of a toxic environment before teaching and everything was negative. So when you're around negativity, how do you turn? You turn negative. But whenever we have a really great positive team, so when you're around that, you tend to, it's hard to not let that rub off on you. So you'll notice yourself starting to be more positive and have vision again, or have dreams that maybe you stopped dreaming because you've been in an environment where you just feel down in the dumps. And I'm running out of time, so let me go a little faster. Next slide. Okay, so this is the income disclosure. I told you I was Emerald, so I'm right here. I'm the third rank from the top. That's where I've been able to make it so far. And this shows you about what you can make for a year. I do better monthly, so I broke it down. We have people that'll go silver in a day. This is where it gets overwhelming, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but we have people go senior silver in a week, in a month. They're like, you can make literally such good income quick, but it all depends on the effort you put in, of course. I don't know about y'all, but when I was teaching, I was the lead teacher. And I remember, meaning you're basically like the manager of your team. So like I was the manager of the fourth grade teachers, if you will. And when they told me what my raise was, I literally asked them if I could get like demoted because I was like, I don't want all this responsibility if that's all you're paying me. They gave me a raise of $300 per year. I think that ended up being like $3 extra a paycheck. And it was a lot of extra work, y'all. So when you look at these, when you think about that, all the extra work I had to put in to get paid $300 extra a year, the opportunity here is incredible. So silvers make about $300 a month. All that is referring 3 people to your website, 3 friends or family. Senior silver, about $500 a month. Gold, about $750 a month. Senior gold, about between $15 and $1750 a month. Ruby, about $2,500 a month. This is where when I quit teaching is when I was Ruby. And then it goes up from there. So you see the opportunity. And guys, there's people that have gone Emerald in 6 months. There's people that have gone Ruby in 6 months. There's people that have gone Ruby in a year. When are you going to ever get a $32,000 raise at your job in a year? Never. As a teacher, I think I maxed out at like 55,000 after 20 years. Of course, I didn't make it that far, but the raises are jokes at most companies. So this is something that also, you guys, you don't have to need to want to go to the top to do this. If you just need $200 extra for groceries a month because groceries have skyrocketed, you can do that by referring 5 people to your website. You know, you can make whatever kind of income you want to make based off of your needs. What I see a lot though is people go for something like, oh, I want to make 200, and then they start making 500. They're like, oh, that was easier than I thought. And they keep going. So your vision grows as you grow. And this is just we're kind of running out of time, so I'm going to speed through this, but this is, what you can make brand new. Refer 1 person, $35, refer 3, 100. If you do it as fast start, meaning if you join as a VIP customer and then everyone, when you join as a VIP customer, you get a referral link. It just comes free with your account. When you refer 3 people in your first 30 days, you get $305 plus this month you get a $150 Boot Barn gift card. When you refer 6 people in your first month, your first 30 days, you get $415 plus you actually get $300 in Boot Barn gift card. So talk to the person that invited you about this, but there's a lot of money in this, y'all. And if you're someone who the price is getting is holding you back from getting started with taking the products, then as you see, you refer 3 people to your referral link. That again comes with your order. When you order product, you're going to more than cover your product. A welcome pack, which is what you get whenever you first get started. It's basically Plex's way of being like, here's a bunch of great product for really cheap. It's about $100. So you're not only going to cover your product, you're going to cover the next 3 months worth of product if you refer 3 friends with your link. And that's literally being like, hey, sister, that does everything that I do, I'm going to start taking Plexes. Do you want to take it too? It's that easy. And if you are someone who has already gotten started and started sharing, if you aren't sharing on social media, I would really recommend sharing on social media, making a post and letting people know what you're doing. Because if they don't know what you're doing, how are they going to join you in doing it? But since I'm running out of time, just ask the person that invited you about this because they can explain it all. And then my favorite quote that has really stuck with me over the years is this one. People make a change because of desperation or inspiration. Most people wait until they are desperate to become inspired. And how true is that? You know, when I really decided I'm doing this is the day I came home from having the most awful day at work ever. All I wanted to do was take a shower, sit on my couch, eat popcorn and drink wine and watch TV. And I came inside my house, clicked on my light switch, and my lights did not come on. That was the day I had, to me, hit rock bottom of desperation, where I was like, what am I doing? This is not okay. I'm not okay with this life. And I need a change. And that's whenever that fire got created in me that made me make a change. But that's the thing, is people can show us these great opportunities and we can think, oh, I made a little typo there. Sorry, that's supposed to say inspiration. But you know, people can show you these opportunities, but if we don't do anything with them, or if we don't try, or if we let our mindset get in our way, or if we're nervous about what people are going to think, so we don't take the leap that we feel like we should, then we're just going to keep going down the path that we are until we get so desperate where we have to make a change. But how great to not have to be desperate and not be, you know, have electricity and have hot water before. And that's not the case for everyone. That was just my story, but how great to not be in that place of desperation and change now before we get to that point. Get to the point where, you know, you and your husband are fighting because you can't make the mortgage again, or get to the point where you're fighting because you know, your card got declined at the store and you got to feed your kids and you can't. Like, why not wait until that point and make a change before, so that you don't get there? Okay, I have less than a minute left. Thank y'all so much for coming. I know that hopefully this resonated with some of you, and I know that some of you are really going to take this and run with it, and I'm excited for you. And if you're still hesitant, talk to the person that invited you. Tell them your hesitations. Tell them why you're nervous about getting started. I promise you, we're here to help you. You don't have to be perfect to get started. Just start walking, and then God can do the rest from there. But you got to take those first steps, because if you're not moving, nothing can happen. Y'all have a great night. I will get this recording and send it in case y'all want to send it to anyone. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Rachel Gallagher. You can find me on Facebook or whatever. And I'm happy to help you, even if I did not invite you here. Y'all have a great night. Bye, guys.